Hello, my fellow YouTubers. This is Roy back again. I don't have anything bolted down, but tomorrow I'll straighten everything out, make it a perfect circle, clamp down on the top ring. One thing I wanted to talk about, let's go back to a couple videos ago, and we talked about the Earth's crust. And the Elite 8 are oxygen 46%, silicon 28%, and silicon's glass, crystal glass. That makes up 74% of the crust. And that's non-metals. I always said that I heard a long time ago aluminum was the most abundant metallic on the crust. And here it goes to show it is. There's 8%, iron 6%, magnesium 4%, calcium 2.4, potassium 2.3, sodium 2.1, other 1%. We also said the depth was 22 miles, pretty deep, 36,000 meters. So we're going to look and focus on glass. Have anybody out there seen the MIT video? If you haven't seen it, look it up, from MIT, and it's called Dissecting a Capacitor. And what they do is they charge a glass capacitor, as a glass and copper. They charge it, pull it apart, touching everything, nothing going on. They put it back together, and bam, the spark goes off. So it goes to show you that the metal is the conductor, which is will transfer the energy, and the glass will store it. And that's what we're talking about. In Ed's wheel, he has cement, and it just makes sense to me now that the cement will have glass in it. Thinking I'll use fiberglass little hairs that'll put a glass through the whole cement. That'll store charge in the cement, okay? And the other thing different we're going to do this time is we're going to this round ring here. It's going to sit on top of the cardboard. If you notice, I got cardboard there and along the bottom. So basically, these magnets are definitely disconnected, not connected. So you can check for continuity on, say, everything's so rusty. There it is, right? But if you touch that and the magnet, nothing happens. If you touch this and the magnet, nothing should happen. So here you can see that I totally got it isolated. So with that being said, in the cement glass, we'll do an assortment of some powdered crystals and glass in the cement. That'll hold a charge, okay? And then we're going to isolate this circle here so it's on top here. And what I'm going to do is put a positive charge on this ring and this clover. And you'll have this isolated, and then you have a negative charge core, which will put a negative charge on the inside of the center here, and the handle will be a negative charge. The rings here will be a positive charge, and you'll have the glass in the cement holding the charge. And what it can do is the glass itself can be getting the charge from the negative from the block and the positive from the rings. And I believe in order to do that, if I put a coil in here, I could create a positive and negative coming from the core of this block. And I could have, if you notice in Ed's, I don't have picture, but there's this in the center, and then there's a little keeper key sticking out, and then off to the side here is a like a like a nut, the end of one of these bolts heading in. So I'm always curious what that was, and could he had a spark gap in the middle? You know, you got your negative and you'll have your positive here, and every time you'll have your top rod come across, that's ground. So you got ground there, you got ground block, you got positive in the field here going. Hmm. Pretty dynamite, interesting stuff, guys. Leave your comments. Leave your comments. This is a cool build. Things are strong too. Strong. Big time now. I charge them all. Once I get this all squared up, nice, get all these blocks out, and on the bottom half, the strength on these magnets are really this way, okay? So the top here or the bottom, I believe in the middle is like a neutral, and then it goes. It's crazy how that works though. But I'm going to put, just like the Model T had, I think it would be cool as shit if I can go up, take the handle, turn it, and as I turn it, the damn workshop lights come on and the music comes on just from turning the wheel. That would be so ass cool. So I think by doing that, I'm gonna re um, re go back to the Model T Ford's magneto system in 1908 to 1912 or 1914, before they started making generators for the automobiles. They had a charging system that was a magneto system, but it had a coil that would sit right at the same dimension as the top there, and it had a metal stud, and it had a coil, and then it would join the wire to the other coil that was over here that's wound the opposite direction, okay? So that's how, and now we're only 16 and they're only one layer. I'm like, my God, you know, if I made a coil underneath this whole run here, so the bottom half here, when you turn it, it, you know, could have it charging. You know, I don't know if I go. I don't think I go charging the battery. I can knock it down and charge a battery, but I would also like to use it as live load and see how that is, because turning it, I could always turn it by the pulley down bottom with my. I got a kick-ass, nice little electric motor around here somewhere. There it is, right there. That guy right there, I could turn it real good and smooth. But one step at a time. So I'm excited about that because I would love to be able to turn it and just see everything fired up. But beside that, I want to get into the other aspects of Ed's wheel that really intrigues me, with the tripod and the cables coming down and the pipe going through the, you know, all about like that last video where I said that it's just about, if you could take the magnet and flip it over and then it just repels up, why can't we do that in materials? And it's just knowing how. And even as that, just knowing how. You gotta know where to make the connection. So this thing is beautiful. But we're gonna kind of incorporate some Wimshurst. You got capacitors. We're gonna incorporate some Wimshurst dielectric charge buildup that we've been talking about in the last 10 videos, 8 videos, and how the wheels will always have its own power because of the magnets. So it always have its own power. We put the inside coil along with the outside coil in resonance. And when you turn the wheel, once electric starts in the system, it becomes a resonant system, and it should be able to continue making its own power because it's in a resonant environment. It's the harmonics of the electric that you're gathering that's going in between the coils. Now, with that being said, we got to figure out what frequency we're dealing with and what frequencies, how did Ed find the frequencies of materials, of rock? And if obviously when I hold not a magnet, but static above the powdered stuff of this, it all flies up to it. So obviously, like Ed says, and minerals, animal and plant life, I think that's the name of it. He's saying that everything has magnets. So, but anyway, all right, guys, peace out. Thanks for watching.